Okay, I'm joined by 2021 linebacker commit to the University of Oklahoma, Danny Stutsman. Danny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I tell you what, I'll let you tell the story.
Well, I mean, I'm a little butthurt here, man. I kind of watched most of your videos, and I kind of hurt a little bit when I come home from the beach, and my dad's like, "Hey, RJ Young, kind of interviewed me." And I'm like, "What? He interviewed you before he interviewed me?" I mean, I felt like you would have reached out, but I mean, he's always getting interviewed about me, and that's a little hurtful, man. I'm a little disappointed.
So you know how your dad hooked me, right?
Nah, he didn't tell me.
Okay, so like, your dad's replying to a tweet, which is cool, which is fine, and then he offers up Barry Switzer recruited me, and I'm like, okay, now I need to hear that story. Because so like,
all right,
you get it, like, not too many people popping up with the Barry Switzer recruited me. I guess there are some, right? Because obviously he had a bunch, but like, they're not really popping up on Twitter to tell me they got recruited by Barry Switzer. So I was like, yo, I want to hear that story. And then I want to talk about Danny. And one of the things,
yeah.
So I learned quite a bit about you and your family and your dad and whatnot. But like, yo, man, I'm gonna ask you straight up, and I've asked this to a number of other kids, like say Brennan Presley, who I'll tell you about in a little bit. But are you the most talented person in your family?
Oh man, I mean, I don't want to start a debate or a riot in the household, but I'm gonna stay humbled and say I think my father probably has me beat here. And he's just he was at least from the stories he's told me. I don't know if he's lying or anything, but I mean, he told me he ran a 4.5 in high school. It was 360, and I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, I mean, even including your mom and your sister, dude. Like, I learned just in that interview that your she's got a national championship.
Yeah. Really, starting off with my mom, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I used to shoot hoops, like, in the front, and she used to come out there and knock down 20, 25 free throws in a row, and I'm struggling to make 5 in a row. So that'd always be a little embarrassing when your mom schools you in basketball. And then my sister used to beat me up all the time, probably until I was about the age of 12. So, I mean, I'm definitely in an athletic family. You get beat up a little bit.
Hey, man, my mom taught me to play baseball and to throw a football. So, I mean, it's part of it, right? Like, my mom's hitting just line drives down third baseline. Talk about if you can catch these, then you can play third base anywhere. Like, you're hitting screamers, Mom. You're hitting screamers. Knock you down with your body. I'm like, yo, that it hurts. It's like, and then my mom, being my mom, you're telling me that an old woman is hurting you with a baseball? Is that what you're saying? So like,
exactly.
Right.
We're in the same boat there.
So I heard from your father, but I want to hear from you. Why Oklahoma, and why it sounded like it happened quickly?
I mean, why not? I mean, really, like, to start off after the Under Armour camp, really, when I got my name out there, it was Coach Odom contacted me. I mean, right from the get-go, I knew, like, this guy, he seems like a great coach. Obviously, he's developed a lot of players. And, I mean, really, we were able to build that relationship together. And then getting up with Coach Riley and Coach Grinch, kind of learning more about the program. I mean, it's just kind of the stars kind of aligned for me. It's a good program. I mean, working on defense, I mean, I can use my talents there to build that. And it's really all just, I mean, I haven't been able to see the school, but I kind of just knew I had that gut feeling that Oklahoma was the home for myself.
Yeah, well, you're one of this group of kids that has had to resort to virtual visits, and I've been told that they are actually really good. What was your experience with your virtual visit with Oklahoma?
I've taken a few, and Oklahoma's was far above everyone else's, man. I mean, I can't make this up. Like, we're here like a big muscle car guy, like family.
Okay.
Like, everything's cars. Oklahoma somehow got 6 muscle cars onto that field in a video. And just my family's face when they saw like 6 old muscle cars like inside the stadium was just crazy. Like, the amount of effort and like the personalization that went into that and the thought process was just unreal.
Do you remember which cars they were? I know 6 is a lot to remember, but do you remember?
There was a Mustang. They've had it all, man. Mustang, Corvette, Camaro. Might have been a Chevelle in there. I mean, it was crazy.
Okay, so what's your favorite muscle car?
I'm a Mustang guy myself.
Okay.
My dad has a few. He's been blessed enough. Like, those are his dream cars. He's bought a few of them. But I like the Mustang.
Which year?
1969. That's the year he was born.
Okay.
So that's the year I've seen the most.
So I am a Shelby GT500 dude. I Oldsmobile 442. If I get one, it's a wrap. Want it in the canary yellow. And the 69 Camaro is just, it's beautiful. I love it. Outside of those,
Man,
go ahead.
You should have brought that up with my dad. He probably loved you 100 times more if you brought both muscle cars around him.
I'm going to have to get you to relay that to him, because now, you know, like, you get to tell him, hey, RJ actually, because I was a mechanic in college, right? Like, I turned wrenches.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, at here in Tulsa at the local Pet Boys, and that was where I learned to build cars and, you know, to take care of them. So I've always been a car nerd. And my best friend is a car nerd. So, like, no, I can totally appreciate that. One of the things that I did find interesting about conversations with these virtual visits is things like you just mentioned, is just how personalized these things can be. Because for many people, it sounds just like you're talking through a desktop, right? You're on a Zoom conversation. You're on a FaceTime conversation. If you can, round out how that actually goes over and how you're receiving this information.
I think some schools do a little differently, but for Oklahoma, it was mostly all on Zoom. And I feel like they had little videos and clips that kind of showed the facilities, the campus, and all. But really, you're using that time to connect with the coaches, like, figure things out. I mean, for myself, I was on with the president of the school, president of Oklahoma, and athletic director of Oklahoma, which was kind of like surprising to myself. Just another recruit is getting on with the president and athletic director, which kind of shown I was a priority to them for sure.
That is one of the aspects of recruiting that I try to give them as much public love as I can on this, because they are so good at it and you're receiving that firsthand. But in this age of the virus, in this age of limited travel, do you feel slighted at all in, hey, like, this is my senior year. I was expecting to be able to take all 5 of my officials. I was expecting to go on trips for unofficials with my parents and actually get to see these places, as opposed to committing to a place that, I mean, have you visited Oklahoma short of, I guess, were you here for the Women's College World Series?
I was unable. I have not been at Oklahoma yet.
Okay.
We had a visit planned, I think April 20th or something like that. We were going to go up there, but it was all canceled. I mean, it stinks. I mean, class 2021 has, like, some unprecedented times, really. I mean, we're probably the only recruiting class that has to do virtual visits, all this stuff. I mean, unfortunately, that's the reality of it. Like, you just have to make the best of it, pretty much.
What have you learned about yourself during the pandemic?
I mean, really how much I love the weight room. It's going to sound funny, but before, like, all this, I mean, I knew about the weight room, but I think going into my junior year, that's when I really started to hit the weights and really developed, like, muscle, like, the strength that I need for a Division I athlete.
And in getting back to the weight room, how crappy was the first day of, like, fully being able to go?
I think, like, because for myself, my neighbor has a full weight room in his garage. Okay. So, I mean, I was with a buddy every single day. So, I mean, and my bench, everything skyrocketed up. And so I've had a little advantage compared to some other athletes.
Okay, gloat a little bit. What are you benching?
Right now, 340.
Yeesh. And what are you weighing?
220.
Oh, man. All right. Now, you power cleaning or you hand cleaning?
I like power clean more.
What are you doing?
300.
God, Danny. Okay. What are you squatting?
450. I'm trying to get that up there.
Get out of here.
That's probably the worst one.
Golly. All right. And you're keeping your lateral drills. You're keeping your lateral quickness, I assume.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all going up. I mean, I'm turning all that, just turning everything into muscle, really.
Oh, man. That's what's up. Dude, is there anything you want to talk about we didn't get a chance to talk about?
I mean, if you have anything you want to say, I'm kind of just, I'll check on YouTube, man.
Oh, well, okay. Look, one, wildly fun just getting to talk to you, because I said it before we started taping. I'm going to say it again. Great sense of humor, way ahead in the conversation category, because, like, seriously, it's been fun just getting to talk to your dad, getting to talk to you, learning about your family. Yeah, dude, Danny Stutsman, 2021 linebacker commit to the University of Oklahoma. Going to play a little Mike, a little Will. Danny, thanks so much, man.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Right on.